Hi there, I'm Michael Giblin with Fiddlershop.com, and welcome to a tutorial on the third violin part, or third instrument part, for the Fiddlerman Christmas 2021 I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas group project. That's a mouthful to say. I'm gonna play it for you so you can hear what the third part sounds like on its own, and then I've got some suggestions on how to practice it and things to keep in mind.
And 1, 2, ready, play.
Alright, so just a couple suggestions. Because there's a lot of open G in this part, please really make sure that your violin is in tune, or your instrument in general is in tune, and we're going to tune to 440. So make sure your tuner is set at that, and really check your open G string to make sure it's right in the center. And then about bowings, it's nice if you can follow these bowings that are printed. However, they are a suggestion, and if you would like to change them if you're running out of bow or the sound is just really is too anemic. If you really just need to take another bow, do that. So feel free to change them if you need to. There's maybe a couple instances where you could play an open string, and that's fine if you want to play like the open D in measure, is this 18? You have a long open G. If you can play 4 there, instead of going, it just kind of keeps it all on the same string and the same tone. And sometimes open strings tend to just stick out, they pop a little bit. So keep that in mind. In general, we want to try to sustain the sound and keep the sound as consistent as possible. There's not really any dynamics printed, so just kind of keep things at a nice sort of mezzo forte-ish level. We are, after all, dreaming of a white Christmas. We're not declaring that it is a white Christmas. So everything in terms of general volume, but also it applies to things like vibrato. If you're used to using vibrato, which is nice, please do so if you are comfortable doing so. But keep it pretty minimal. So So like in measure, is this five or so, where you just have this long F. Just a little wiggle. It's just just a little pulse. It's not a really fast, uncontrolled. So it's a great little opportunity. If you haven't worked on vibrato, just start. Make sure you're loose here. You're not tight, you're not squeezing. And just work on, it's just a little pulse. The impulse, we call it. So just a little bit of that. The vibrato, of course, is a much larger topic than I can cover right now. But use vibrato if you can. Keep it just gentle. One thing I forgot to add about this, keeping the sound consistent, is that it's going to involve some bow planning. Take a look at measure 4, where you have the C sharp and then D. You really need to get to the tip after the D, or during the D. So you have C sharp, D. Get here, all the way to the tip, and then save this bow, because you have 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. But now these beats 3 and 4, this A, B, don't smack it. Don't go in trying to get, because oh, finally I can move. Try to be consistent. Try to keep those notes kind of at the same level. And the exact same thing is going to come back at measure 20. So I wrote in the part tip, like get to the tip when you have that D, so that you can sit and then save the bow for those 2 bars. All right. Sort of a small thing is the last note in the score and also on the click track that's going to be in your ear. It stops right after 4 beats, but we'd like to kind of continue the note and so that it sort of tapers out to nothing. So please, when you're playing it, and then that would be B4, just keep it going and really just fade out to nothing, okay? And then that also gives us a little bit of space with editing to kind of gently fade out instead of just like, abrupt ending. And then I think, hopefully, I'm sure that probably makes sense, but there's a first ending, so we do the repeat as I just played it. So play the first ending, and then we go all the way back to the beginning, and then instead of playing the first ending, you jump to the second ending on the second note. I think that makes sense. That's about all I have musically. Just one last thing about filming is please make sure you're filming like this in landscape mode. Don't film like this in portrait mode. Maybe possibly if you're a cellist, it's okay, it's tolerable, because cellist is such a tall instrument that we can make that work. But try, even if you're a cellist, please try to make it work by filming like this. That's just so we can fit everybody in the frame, and it all looks uniform. And try to have like enough space so we can see your violin and your arms moving a little bit. Please don't submit a video where you're like this close, where it's just like your face and it's too close, because we want everybody to kind of look uniform. I hope that was helpful. That's basically everything. I used the little earbud in this ear just for right now, so you don't see it, but it's not a big deal. Actually, it's a little bit easier to have it in your other ear, so then this ear is closer to your instrument. So that's fine. Feel free to put the earbud in whatever ear is comfortable for you, but you do need to record it with the click track so that we can all line up and sync up together. All right, well, thanks so much for playing the third part. We need you, and we look forward to seeing it all together, and I think it'll be a wonderful project. So thanks.
I hope that was informative and helpful.
Yeah, if you want to buy this product, just click right up here.
Right there.
Do it.
Yeah,
We
do
would
it.
also love it if you subscribe to our channel so we can keep in touch. It's right over there.
And if you want to learn more about us, click right here.
Fiddlershop.